morning, my beautiful bakers. I do not know what I am going to bake today. I do not know what I'm going to bake today. Can you tell what I'm baking today? I got up at stupid o'clock to do stages of donuts. These donuts are no ordinary donuts. These donuts, oh my god, these donuts are baked donuts. They're not deep fat fried. They're delectable, sinful mouthfuls of fluffiness. So we're going to start with all these stages. Just keep an eye, stay with me. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the mayhem. So, Friday I decided to do some baked donuts. So, with my trusty bowl, I have got strong flour, I've got caster sugar, I've got yeast, I've got melted butter, I have got milk, and I've got eggs. Now, strong flour, if you don't have it, you can use plain flour. You will need to up the yeast, so double the yeast quantity. So, for starters, this is only step one. 120 grams of strong flour for these baked donuts, followed by our caster sugar. In goes 50 grams of caster sugar. 50 grams. This is the food for the yeast. 1 sachet, which is 7 grams of yeast. In it goes. And then we give it a stir, 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 stir. So we've got our flour, we've got our sugar, we've got our yeast. Now, I have got here 40 grams of melted butter. I have 150 mils of warm milk, and I've got 2 egg yolks. So all I'm doing is I'm putting in, this is salted butter, so I'm not adding any seasoning, but I'm adding salted butter. Salted butter, in it goes. Followed by my warm milk, blood temperature, and I've got my 2 egg yolks. In they go, blippity blop blop. And all I'm making at the moment is a bit of a flour soup. Okay, so I've mixed your sugar yolks, yolks. I've mixed my egg yolks, not my sugar yolks. And lads, my brain works faster than Wi-Fi, certainly my mouth. So there are times I will say one thing or another. It's the recipe that you go by. So we have got our strong flour, we have got our sugar, we've got our yeast, we've got our warm milk, we've got... Now, covered in cling film for 10 minutes. I'll fix that later. There's nothing worse when you go to cling film and somebody's used it and they use it to there, so you have to unwind it. So we have got our cling film and our beautiful baby, which is going to rest for 10 minutes. And here we have our 10 minutes. Now please, if there are comments, throw them at Lucy, because she's not feeling it today. Her mother has dragged her out of bed on a Friday morning, and my Lucy is very good for doing this. I do appreciate you, Lucy, thank you very much. She's not feeling it today. So, we have got our batter gloopy glue, and to that we are going to add 200 grams extra of our strong flour. Now, not all at once. So again, just give it a stir, stir, stir. This is an amazing recipe for kids because it is step by step. There's no mixer involved other than your hand and a trusty spoon or a trusty fork, and time and patience. So if you've lots of time and if you've lots of patience by now, guys, I think you should have a medal for the amount of patience you have listening to me and also with kids baking in the kitchen. So can you see that sloppy dough? It's getting there. It's not quite, but it's... So I'm going to add more flour. Now I'm not going to add all the flour. I'm going to reserve a little because I may not need it all. So I'm taking it off the spoon. No, that one would be disgusting. So in goes my hand, and look how soft this dough is. It's really soft, it's floppy. You can feel the heat very, what's the word? Very, it's blood temperature, guys. It has this lovely hue of heat. It has not got cold dough, it's warm. It's nearly there. And I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit more, not a whole lot, but just a little bit more. And as you can see, it's quite sticky. Okay. On goes the excess flour that I have in my container I'm going to use for my table. Take off the excess on my finger. And again, this is a fabulous recipe. You're not going to be kneading this for 15 minutes. It's one of those recipes that, oh my God, I must have tweaked this recipe 8, 9 times, changed flour ratio, added an extra yolk, added so many bits and bobs as I'm going along, because the whole thing about baking is experimenting. And I wanted a baked donut without the calories of a deep fat fried donut. So I have got my little dough. Back in the bowl it goes for a little snooze. On goes our cling film that we had earlier with regards to letting our batter rest for 10 minutes. And this now is going to rest for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, so back it goes. Here I have one prepared earlier. And again, don't get rid of the cling film yet. So we have our dough. Next thing, it is this beautiful, soft, magnificent dough. Give me 2 seconds while I wash my hands. Zippity-doo, zippity-day, dippity-doo-doo. Scrubby down. Now, back to donuts. That's me. So we have got our donut dough, and as you can see, look, it's real boing, 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 boing. So we've got our rolling pin, and we've got a tiny bit of flour for sprinkling. Magic moon dust in the air. Tiny bit on our rolling pin because I do not want it sticking. And we're going to roll out the dough. Now, bear in mind, this has been rising for an hour. So don't, once you've made the dough, don't come back and roll it straight away. You do need to leave it for an hour to prove. It is such a light dough. It is soft. It is fluffy. It will not be unless you give it time to rest. Okay, so we have got our scone cutter. So the next thing, you can see how thin, almost like a finger depth. And the next thing we get are our cutters. So out come our trusty cutters. And these are about 2.5, 3 inches. So, oh my goodness, I've got a squeaky table. Bit like myself first thing on a Friday morning. I will still have to reward Lucy with something because, as I said, she's really not feeling it this morning. So down it goes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should get 12. So tiny. Knead again. And we're going to flatten with our rolling pin. Sprinkle. And we're going to roll out to make 12. Because there's no way I am wasting this dough, considering I've been up at stupid o'clock, making sure that the step-by-step was easy to follow. So, and I will catch up with all your comments. It's just when it goes live, it's quite difficult. And particularly, I'd say, with a challenging teenager, probably not best to comment. So, I am gently pushing these donuts into shape. They're just beautiful. They're as light as air. The dough itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. This is going to be the chef's treat. I'm going to make this a big fat one. Who cares? Now, you have a choice of putting these directly onto a baking tray. Or what I have done, I have purchased these really cool donut silicone mats. They are fabulous. So I just need a tiny bit of melted butter. Now you can put exactly as is on a tray in a preheated oven, and they only take 10 minutes to bake. So you do want to have that golden hue, not too dark. So when they come out, they look like bread rolls. So they don't look anything like a donut until you butter and use your cinnamon and sugar. So here we are. with our donut. And all I'm doing is to create the center. I am literally using bloop, a little insert. Don't worry, I will also bake the little inserts. Plop, in they go. You do not need to have a donut tray. I just so happen to love this little one because it's very versatile and because it's flexible, which means that when they come out of the oven, they literally pop out, but you must butter them. You must grease them. If you don't, they will break your heart. And again, with something like this, you can glaze them. So you've got your, okay, behind. I will do the same with those in a minute. So just speeding it up. We have got some prepared because once you cut them up, you need to prove again. So this is a great baking one for a Sunday or a lazy Saturday afternoon, even though I know today's Friday, but you've got all weekend to do this. So these will go into an oven, 180 for 10 minutes. In they go. And here we have our donuts. So they have been baked. They have taken 10 minutes in a preheated oven. The next thing I'm going to do is just fill with some jam, and we're nearly there. So we get a dollop of whatever jam, lemon curd, whatever tickles your fancy. You can leave them completely glazed with your caster sugar. All I have done is I have used my pastry brush. I've dipped into my melted butter. I have smeared each little bread roll almost with your butter, and then I have dunked into caster sugar, and I have dunked some into cinnamon sugar. Cinnamon sugar is literally 100 grams of caster sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I should put that everything up on the page. So again, tiny scissors snip just to release the air pocket. And all I do is I get, oh delicious, I get a donut, I slit, make a hole, in goes my piping bag, and you can squeeze until you can feel the gel. And you've got your baked donut, which I'm absolutely devouring. These are best eaten on the day. When they go cold, they're delicious, but if you zap them in the microwave for about 10 seconds, they revamp them, bring them back to life, and you've slightly warmed the jam in the middle. So crazy day today, we did crazy donuts. Yes, it took forever to do, but thank you to Lucy, you stayed through. Thick and thin, Lucy, you're an angel. Thank you very much. I shall see you tomorrow.